Right, it's the middle of March, and our fishing season in England has just ended, and we're planning rather an early trip to France. It's the earliest I've ever been out there. Normally, I'll leave it till after April the 1st. The weather, for one thing, is a little bit better, and some of the campsites that we're liable to visit don't actually open until April the 1st. We're not sure exactly where we're going to end up, so we're going to try and find two or three alternative venues to fish. Most of which I'm sure will be in the southern part of France. It's obviously that much warmer. Unfortunately, you have to contend with the snow on the mountains and the cold water actually running into the rivers and lakes. So we're probably going to go over, well, we're definitely going to Calais, and we'll have to drive down through Paris. And first off, we'll probably look down through the Loire Valley. Somewhere I've fished 2 or 3 times. There's areas around Tours that are beautiful. With the chateaus and the river itself, it is a very nice area. It's a little bit bleak at this time of the year, as you can imagine, because most of the things are actually closed down for the tourist. But the fishing is excellent, and there are 2 or 3 lakes there that have produced fish in excess of 40 pounds. You know, we're not looking for real mega monsters. We just want to go out and enjoy ourselves, watch the indicators going up and down, and catch a few fish. So we're probably looking on the Tours area. Analyse the situation and see if it's worth having a go there. If we don't fancy that, we'll probably go down to the Dordogne. Now, the biggest problem with that area is that I'm sure there's going to be snow on the mountains, and we could be confronted with the problem of this very cold water going into the river. And I don't know what it is about the snow water. It's completely different to here. We can get this very low water temperature in England, and the carp still feed. For whatever reason, this snow water, I don't know whether it deoxygenates the water or what it does to it, but it certainly puts the carp off of feeding. And I've had this problem before, even later in the year. So we'll have a look at that. If that doesn't work out, we'll probably come down past Clermont, past the Dordogne area, and go down to the Lot. River Lot was where I first started my French fishing at a place called Cabernac, which is very, very productive. There's lots of carp there. Not particularly enormous. It has produced the odd 30, 35 pound common, but it's more known really for the action that you can get. There are 1 or 2 places at the Lot. Jim's actually been to one that is just by a stand. That's another one of these barrages. Lots of the rivers have these barrages across them for hydroelectric power. It's the main source of the electricity in that part of the world. Jim went out there last year and had a wonderful time on the River Lot and caught some very big fish. So we're probably looking on that, and I'm sure even if we don't stay there many days, I think we'll have a few days there just as a stop-off. It's a lovely little town, so I'm led to believe. I haven't actually seen it myself, but we'll probably stay there just to have a look round. It's not an all-and-out fishing holiday. I want to have a look around the areas, have a look at the chateaus, the rivers, and the various other buildings of interest. So it's not fishing first and foremost, although obviously I want to get the rods bent. If that doesn't work out too well, we've got plenty of places further down south. There's the River Tarn at Elby. I fished there also. Now, that is a really unknown quantity. It's certainly produced fish in excess of 50 pound in various areas. Again, you've got a similar situation to what you've got at the River Lot. You have these barrages, and then for 2 or 3 miles you have water that's rising and falling continually. There's turnover of food source, and very large carp grow there. Further south, we might end up at Salagou, or even if the worst comes to the worst, we might drive right across the country and go to Lac de Cassine. I have 2 or 3 trips there, and there are some real monsters, but the fishing there is quite difficult. And Salagou, from all the accounts that I've received, is very prolific water with lots of doubles and lots of low 20s. So that may be somewhere else we consider. Of course, by then we're getting down towards the Spanish border, so there's a lot of driving involved. We will stay probably at various places. There are a few campsites open that we're aware of. I think we'll probably be able to get fairly cheap accommodation at hotels because it's going to be out of season and they're going to want to sell their rooms. So we've got a fair chance of picking up some pretty cheap accommodation out there. And if the worst comes to the worst, we can actually bivvy up on the side of the bank. You have to be a little bit careful because although some places actually allow you to bivvy up and tent up on the side. There is no night fishing throughout France, and it's a heavy fine if you get caught. There's a good chance of getting your tackle confiscated, and the only way to get it back is it's probably going to cost you £200 or £300 in a fine to get your tackle back. So it's well worth being aware of that. The fish feed in the daytime just as well, so there's a very good chance of catching them. Right, it's a good idea, especially if you're going with the family, to consider staying on one of the very good campsites. I've used Eurocamp, which are marvellous. The facilities there are brilliant. Most of them have got swimming pools and kiddie minders and things like that. You can go down to your local travel agent and book up through them. They will actually do everything for you, including the ferry, your insurance, the whole thing. Also key camps and sun sites, another good holiday camps. And most of them have got either good self-catering or tents or really whatever you want right throughout France. Some of them have actually got waters on their sites. I've been to 2 or 3 of the Eurocamp ones, and they've actually got good lakes actually on the sites themselves. I stayed at one in the Loire Valley a couple of years ago, and I had a smashing lake only feet from the log cabin we were staying in. I could almost cast out the window at the Carp. It was great stuff. And they also had a good swimming pool there, heated swimming pool, restaurant, and lots of facilities. So it was nice. When you look through these brochures, you'll see if you want to go right the way down to the Mediterranean, there's obviously the good beaches to take in as well. The Bordeaux area, you've got the wines as well as the beaches. The Pyrenees, you've got the chateaux and really whatever you want. So you can plan your holiday literally either around the campsites or go and do it yourself. There's many ways of doing it. And it's not a frightening experience. A lot of people, especially the letters I get through my pages of the Angler's Mail, are often asking, they want to go to France, they want to take the family with them, haven't got a clue how to do it. Go down to your local travel agents, pick up a brochure and let them do the work. That's what you pay them for. And you can have some very good holidays via these campsites. As I say, it's probably a bit too early for us. We're going out of season. There are 1 or 2 open, but if you are considering it, 1st of April is really the deadline. Go after that. Before that, there's a very good chance they're going to be closed. One thing that I certainly wouldn't go to France, or anywhere else on the continent for that matter, is without good insurance cover. I belong to the AA, and I use their 5-star service, which to my mind can't be beaten. The cover that you get for what you pay is absolutely brilliant. For Jim and myself to go for a fortnight to France, with both of us driving my car, all the liability cover we get with that, and if the worst comes to the worst and we actually break down, the car can't be repaired, they will get it back to England for you and they will give you another car, which is super. And for all that, that's going to cost us about £40, so it's good value for money. And it makes an awful lot of sense to get good coverage out there. You just don't know what's going to happen. You're a long way from home. Could be 1,000 miles from your destination, and really, it's an awful long way to try and get your gear back. The AA also do vouchers which cover you in most countries, and they're up to sort of £200-300 for any breakdowns that you get. You haven't got to pay anything out your own pocket, and it's all claimable back. The other thing that you need, you can't go without, is your GB sticker. It's actually illegal not to have one, so that needs to go on the back of the car. And to make sure that you are recognised, there is one of these little AA 5-star assistant stickers. Put that in the back of the windscreen so that you're instantly recognisable when you have broken down or you do need assistance on the motorway or be wherever. You've got to take your driving licence and you've got to take a passport. They won't let you into the country otherwise. A lot of people actually forget their driving licence, and if you're pulled up on the side of the road and you haven't got it, you're in big problems. Because you're driving abroad, and if you haven't got continental headlights, one of these converters is the easiest and the cheapest way of actually converting your lights to change the dip from one side of the road to the other. They're only £3.50, and they're easy to do. It's just a little sticker that you cut out, put on your headlights, and you're away. Don't do it until after you've come off the ferry at the other side, because obviously if you're driving at night in England, then you'll be on the wrong side again. Remember to take it off when you come back. Very cheap, easy way of doing it. When you eventually do get out there and you're looking at your fishing, you will need a licence, and every part of the country actually has a different licence. The areas will be shown on the map, and you can get these not so much at your local tackle shops because they're hard to find, but the general post office, the general stores, and they usually will display a sign outside, something along these lines, and you can go in there and pick one of your licences up. For the areas that we're going to fish, for a whole year's licence, this is ones we picked up earlier in the year when we was out there, it's round about 200, 250 francs for the whole year's fishing. So it's not expensive, it's well worth it. And it saves you a fine if you get caught with fishing without them. You can fish with 3 rods. There is no knife fishing, so don't be tempted to do it. So, you know, it is something you have to have. It's a legal obligation. This is it, is it?
What a long drive for us. Oh, how many miles have we done?
Over 600.
600 miles.
Your turn to drive back.
Oh, it's a long way. This is it.
We're here. This is the barrage, is
Yeah,
it?
this is where we are on the barrage. Just on the top here. This is the car.
God, is it always as dirty as this?
Yeah, it's dirty, isn't it? It's very clean downstream. You know, it's Jim Clear down there.
We're here, are we?
Yeah, we're just there. We
Yeah.
can go down the road here. And the first swims are along here. That is not where I fished last year. Where did you fish last year? All the way around here. There's 2 swims opposite that point. There's a big farmhouse.
This is Michelle's swearing there, along here, where he's tagging there.
That's right.
Yeah, great stuff.
Well, so
This looks pretty wide here. Is it wider than what it is here?
no, it's roughly the same distance. It's about
Trees coming down the river here.
No, that is a problem.
And this is Astane. That's where we're going to go and see if we can find a hotel. Yeah?
Yeah.
Great stuff. That's good. Right, you're going to show me where these fish are. Go and catch a few. Yeah?
Yeah.
Come on then, mate. How's it going? Hope this weather chews up a bit.
Jones, we have made it, mate.
Cool. Tell you what, ain't moved an inch, is it, the boat?
No.
Brilliant. It's absolutely stable.
It's good, isn't it?
Right, show me where you caught these fish.
Right.
It's the swim down here.
Yeah. Well, no, I fished over there, and a friend of mine fished out here, but it's virtually all the same area.
Yeah.
We fished.
God, the water's ever so down, isn't it?
It's ever so low down. What we found we had to do was to set up camp halfway up the hill, because otherwise you get swamped out.
How high does he come then?
Well, it comes up to about here.
Blimey. So that's 6 foot down then, at the moment.
Yes.
Does it go any lower than that?
Yes, much lower.
Blimey, Charlie. God, and where did you catch from?
I caught over there.
Well, from this next swim?
From the next swim, I was fishing roughly halfway out. What I did, I had a small boat and I took a load of maize out there and put it along the bottom. Then I put boilies over the top.
Yeah.
And
What, on the edge of the old riverbed?
Yes, there's an old riverbed out there.
Is it very snaggy?
Yes, there's tree trunks, all sorts in there.
So what sort of line were you using?
Oh, 15-pound line.
So really got a gun up then? Give him some stick, get him out.
That's right. And I was using 25-pound silkworm on the end.
Oh, there's
with size 2 hooks.
God, blimey.
Most of the time I was fishing a double boilie pop-up.
Wouldn't get away with that
Straight
at
at
Yate, would you?
No, you wouldn't.
And what sort of size fish did you catch last year?
Oh, I have 4 30-pound fish.
4 30s?
Yes, a 31.5-pound common and a 36.5-pound common.
Amazing.
2 36-pound mirrors and a 41.5-pound leather. Oh, but that was a staggering. Oh, it was a really marvellous fish.
That your personal best?
Oh, my personal best, yeah. Magic.
So it's got the potential then.
Oh, it's really got the potential.
So you're going to bet it out this week?
Well, I hope so.
So what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to keep setting up down there and moving backwards. The holes, it goes up and
I
down.
think so.
Better get some maize soaked up and cook it up and get the boat out then.
That's right.
The echo sounder out and go and find these fish.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's go get the boat off then, mate. All right.
I'm using an echo sounder, fish finder, call it what you like, for two reasons. One, to see the contours of the bottom, and the other one is obviously to find the fish. This one just going across here was probably a zander. The different fish will show up at different sizes and on the script. We've got a depth readout on here, and we can also see how the gradient of the bottom's actually going as we pass over it. Many people consider the fish finders to be cheating in some respects, but the way I look at it, when we come in this far France, this has cost us, probably £500 or £600 this trip to come out here. And personally, I'm not actually prepared to sort of have these trips out here without having a few things on my side. And these are fairly virgin waters. We don't know where the fish are going to be. And they're big waters. There's 10 miles to find the fish here. So I don't consider it to be to cheating at all. We're in a different country, and we need to put a few things on our side. And see now we're running down the side of it, and this is a carp here which just come across. Not a particularly big one. That one's probably maybe 20 pounds. And here's another one. They're very close to the bottom here, and that's over my baited area. These bits sticking up here are actually tree stumps, and I think they could actually cause us a few problems. But we've got to fish where the fish are. I'm going to circle round again and see if I can pick up any more. The other useful bit of equipment I'm using is an electric outboard. Petrol engines aren't allowed in France, and really anyone who's coming out here, it's worth the investment of bringing out an electric motor with them, because you get a big wind on the water like this and it saves an awful lot of our make on the oars. We're out here for a week and it's going to be invaluable, I'm sure. Big heavy duty battery, probably get them as much as 16-20 hours of slow speed running out of it.
Fabulous countryside.
Considering it's middle of March and it's still fairly cold, the trees are starting to green up already. Really does look beautiful. Snow on the mountains. That is a very big fish just here. That fish there is probably, I would guess, in excess of 40 pounds. And it literally is on an area that I baited up very early this morning, quite close in. You see the tree trunks there. But Jim's going to try and put a bait on that now.
But that was one of the big ones that we was talking about.
Oh, it knows.
We'll have them on. Oh, it's still on. Horrible feeling, this is snagged. It's still on there, but it's at the boat house snagged, I think so. It's still on. Still on, yeah.
Take.
Come on, baby. Yeah, it's still on. Yeah. Right. Hey, just pushes that down. Bro, just push the crook plane.
At that round, I'm not going to just put them out in my.
Oui, Allah. Oui, glory.
See, in the people we go, this. This.
Hoppa. Ah. Şiş.
It's double cool.
Got a look cheesed off? Well, folks, I am pretty suicidal at the moment. You can't be lucky all the time, can you? No. Unfortunately, what had happened, the trees on the riverbed had actually gone through it. We was right over the top of the fish, and we was gaining line. It was coming back up through the tree trunk, and you could feel the line soaring actually on the tree trunk. I think that was a mega kipper.
Here we are on the banks of the River Lot in the beautiful little village of Estan. It's certainly one of the prettiest places that I've ever visited in this area of the south of France. The River Lot this time of the year is quite fast flowing with the snow waters coming down from the mountain, but it's very pretty. We're fishing probably 2 or 3 miles down towards the barrage, where the river has slowed down a lot more than what it is here. There's a smashing chateau in the background here that I'm sure I'll have a look round before the end of our visit. And we're staying in a hotel literally on the banks that overlook the River Lot. We've got a room with a balcony, and in the early morning the sunlight coming through is quite a wonderful way to start the day.
What Andy is doing is rowing the hook bait. It's near to the far bank. It is roughly 150 yards out there. It's beyond casting range. And what he's doing, he's got the echo sounder on. What he will do is locate the fish, drop the hook bait over the fish and free offens. As you see next to him, there's where we have previously baited is a range marker. He is actually now looking at the fish finder to see if there's any fish there. Just moving round. Yes, I think he's detected some. Any moment I will get a signal to tighten up the line. It's dropping the baits over the side there. I've got the signal to tighten up.
Oui, moi, j'ai mon copain enfin, qui carte, il a été hier et il a fait 8 carpes. Hier.
He said he's got a friend who was at Salagoo yesterday and got 8 carp.
Ouais. Whereabouts in Salagoo? You know, that's the area.
And she said it's a lot lower down, it's a lot warmer there at the moment than here.
Salagoo, ça pas où c'est Salagoo? Ici, le Salagoo?
See, you might be able to use your self-promotion.
À côté de l'Odève.
Bodève, Montpellier.
Ah, c'est mon podcast, Mac.
I think it's to Salagoo.
Ça a le goût parce que c'est plus sec. Il y a moins de nature verte. Là. À cette saison-ci, parce que c'est l'hiver. L'été, c'est très chaud. Il y a les cigales.
Yeah, and Donald, yeah.
Everyone goes to Salagoo.
Mais là, il y a le chemin, hein, qui arrive. Il faut
On
prendre
a faire les colis.
le chemin là, là. Comme ça, là. Et voilà.
Follow the road
Voilà.
and around.
Là.
Ici, faire reconnaître.
Having just driven a couple of 100 miles up the auto routes, I thought it'd be a good idea to just pass on a little information about these things. These are toll tickets. Most of the auto routes you have to pay a toll to go on them, which goes towards the upkeep of their motorways. But most of the toll tickets have a time printed on there. And as you go through, they actually have an automatic computer that links up with the next toll station. And if you don't abide by their speed limits and you go hacking along the motorway at sort of 150 mile an hour, very often when you get to your next destination, as you go through the next toll, there's a little policeman waiting the other side who will pull you over and give you quite a hefty fine. It's worth bearing in mind because a lot of people think, because they don't see any police actually on the motorways themselves, that they've got away with it. They all go belting down, but it's a self-controlled police management system that they've got, and it is very effective. You can take it from one that's already fallen foul to it. So it does work very well indeed. A lot of these motorways, you'll find that there's a great deal of distance between the petrol stations as well. It's best to look out for them. Most of them you'll see as you come up to one has not only got the kilometres to that particular one, but the next one and sometimes the one after. So judge your distances accordingly, because if you don't plan your routes out and you find yourself stuck between petrol stations, it can cost you an awful lot of money to get someone to come out and top you up.
Put it behind.
That looks a cracker.
Kiss the arm. Oh, look at that.
Gee whiz. Tell you what, Jim, it's got to be a 40, mate.
I think so. It looks like it.
Absolutely brilliant. Stick it straight on the unhooking there. Oh, look at that. What a monster. Can you hold me rod?
Yeah, certainly.
Brilliant. Oh, cool. Look at that. It's only just lightly nicked. Yeah. Oh, don't know. It's pretty good. Cure. What a cracking fish.
Got some forceps.
No, I think I've got it.
Yeah, we got it.
Oh, it's tough old looks.
No. You managed.
Yeah, brilliant. Cool. Wet didn't straighten. That's magic. First one of the session. I tell you what, if that ain't 40, it's pretty blooming close.
I know. It's big, isn't it?
Look at that. What a beauty.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Get the view. Right, look, can you just wait? Yeah. Can you hold your hand over his eyes?
Yeah.
Keep him steady. Right, just get the weigh bag and zero that in.
That's more than that, isn't it?
£42 dead.
£42 dead.
Brilliant. Down. Oh, right. Can you hold on to it a minute? By the top. They tell me there's no mirrors in Salagoo.
Yeah, it's a beautiful fish. That's what they say.
Oh, well, they got that a little bit wrong somewhere.
It's all good.
Jimmy, if I hold this up, can you just take that weigh bag out of the way? Ah, that is sheer magic. Absolutely superb. A new personal best. Brilliant. What a way to start the session. Absolutely fabulous. God, that's heavy. I just put it down again. That is superb. Absolutely wonderful. Right, can you just cover that up, Jim, and we better get it back. It's got hardly any barbels on it. It must be the very hard bottom here with all the rocks and things. Just cover it up.
That's good size.
Just take a couple of stills and we'll get straight back in.
Yeah, I think so.
And again.
Brilliant. Another one long way too. That's superb.
I'm all gone.
Right, what one up? Right up.
Can't have enough of a personal best, can you? Brilliant. Okay, I think that's good enough. Let's get him back.
The what?
Oh, you lovely creature.
No.
Right. That's the way to see him going away.
Yeah, isn't it?
Absolutely magic.
Yeah.
That was absolutely brilliant. Thanks, mate. Terrific.
See what?
Marvellous.
First fish on the session. Can you believe it? 40-pounder. Absolutely superb. You wouldn't think this was the middle of blooming March. It's glorious weather. There was a real result moving off the lot. I was getting to rough it, I think. But,
I never realised this place was open.
oh, it's huge, isn't it? This is just a tiny piece of it. But putting the maize out there last night obviously done the trick.
You seen what this fish has regurgitated? Look at it. Although I called it on boilies, on Tropicanas, the amount of maize that must have been munching, it's incredible.
There's all the melon little bits in there.
I'll tell you what I think that is. It's all little tiny bits of rock. It's obvious, as it's sucking this maize in, you can see all this rock in the water here. It's obviously drawing that into the mouth at the same time. They must have cast-in stomachs, mustn't they? Look at it, must have. All little tiny bits of this
So
red
what do you
rock.
think Mez is doing out there?
It's obviously, I think they killed it with a bait up.
With the atmosphere.
It's great, brilliant. The one nice thing is, though, I wasn't actually aware that this place had fish of that sizing, because all the ones that I've seen before, the photographs of, they've been like, the big fish have been like 30-pound commons, 32 to 35-pound commons. I actually didn't know there were many mirrors in here. All the storage are here, and certainly the photographs that I've seen, it's all basically been commons and no big mirrors. You can see it on the echo sounder, they certainly are showing up as big fish.
I was beginning to think it was me at first because, you hear all these stories and, there just aren't any big mirrors in here. But who knows? It's such a big water, no one can know what's in this sort of place. It's obviously very, very rich. And did you notice how all the barbels were worn away and all the towns? Down to this rock, it's got to be. Didier Cotton's got a theory, and I don't know where he gets it from. He says that if you look all around this south coast of France, anywhere where this red rock is prominent, big carp grow, big carp. Cassines the same. It's amazing. So, who knows? Perhaps, this will produce fish the size of cassine one of these days. Brilliant. Suppose we get a rod out again, I suppose.
This is the afternoon of our first day on Salagoo. How we've come to be here is that we've had 2 or 3 days up on the River Lots near Estaing. And although we found plenty of fish, we honestly believe that the snow waters coming into the river had less than our chance. When we first got there, the water temperature was probably around about 45 degrees. And it was deteriorating as the time went on. Every time the river went up and down and took on more water, I'm sure the temperature was dropping. And in the end, we felt that really we wasn't going to catch. We did have a couple of chances, but it just really was deteriorating. So we decided that we'd dry south to try and find a bit of sun, which, as you can see, we have found. It is amazing. Apparently it is 25 degrees C here at the moment, and for the middle of March, I cannot believe it. I'm actually burned. I'm going to be like a lobster. Quite astounding. I've had a couple of days on Salagoo before, but it was a few years ago, and it was in the height of the summer, and it was a very busy placing, completely different to what it is today. It's almost deserted, and all we've really done, we come along to the nearest point on the road, got the boat out and the echo sounder, and drifting our way downwind until we found some fish. Went over shoals of small fish, and in the end we come along this little bay that's somewhere on the north bank. I'm not even exactly sure where we are. And we found this half a dozen really big fish, and they've shown up on the echo sounder as I'm sure that they're 40-pound plus fish, perhaps maybe even as big as 50-pound. We are so far off the beaten track, it's unbelievable. I'm not sure where we're going to get the cars out. We've come down the side of the mountain, down a little track, and the track has now petered out. And we've made a decision that we're actually going to camp here, so we've made our home behind us. And we're going to fish this little bay here for the next few days. Quite amazingly, we've had 2 takes already this morning. Jim lost a very big fish first thing, which, we was cursing our luck that one come unstuck. And lo and behold, a little while later I got stuck into one, which proved to be a 42-pounder. Quite amazing. So I don't know what's going to happen. Most people that come to Salagoo come for the action of lots of fish, but I think we've stumbled on something here that may be slightly unique, in as much that we haven't got loads of 10, 15 and low 20s in front of us. What we have got these few big fish, and I'm quite happy to sit it out now for the next few days. Hopefully put another one of these magnificent beasts on the bank.
Well, to explain a little bit about the type of setup I'm using. As you can see, the rod tips are set high above the water with the butts right down low. Now the reason for this is that I want to keep as much line out of the water as possible and have an acute angle running from the rod tips actually down to the baited area where my ledge weight is situated. The idea behind this is that the whole of this bank, and certainly the area that we're fishing here, is strewn with very large boulders and sharp rocks, and I want to keep the line away from this. It's really imperative that you do this. As you can imagine, from a taking fish or playing a carp, if the line touches one of these sharp rocks, it's going to certainly sever the line, and that's going to mean a lost fish. And that's one thing you've got to try and alleviate. So by setting the tackle up in this way, there's a very good chance that we're going to keep a line very, very tight from the rod tip and keep it out of the danger zone. Now, how I've kept the line tight, as you can see, I have no visual indication whatsoever. I've come straight through from the rod tip into a back clip. The line is held very taut into a back clip that's taped to the rod butt. The reel I've adjusted so that the clutch is quite loose and the spool will back wind. But the one important thing about fishing like this is that the line is always under tension, and even when the carp is taking, that line is staying taut the whole of the time. If I was fishing with an open bail arm, the line would go slack, and at that moment there's a very good chance that it will come in contact with the sharp rocks. The butts are held tightly in these back grips. They're very, very solid in there. So the whole thing is a rock solid setup, line taut, and then when the carp takes, it runs off and keeps the line out of the danger zone. A few tips about actually making up bait and bringing bait to France. It's virtually physically impossible to bring as much bait as you need for a week or a fortnight's fishing. You would need literally hundredweights of the stuff, especially if you're on a prolific water somewhere like Salagoo. So what I tend to do is, although I bring shelf life boilies, and we've probably got something like about 20 or 30 bags of those that we've brought with us, some of which we've made into pop-ups, the main bulk of the baiting that we're going to try to attract the carp into the swim with is maize. This can be brought locally in just about any of the little villages right throughout France. And for a 50 kilo bag, I paid 100 francs, around about £10. The problem is, of course, it's not usable as you buy it. So what I do, I soak it in carp sacks, so you can soak loads of it at a time. And we try to get a little bit of a chain going up so that we have some being soaked and then we cook it as well. It's just, although it will swell up and it'll take on water, it's not soft enough to use. So with a pressure cooker, we pressure cook for about 20 minutes and then we put them in tubs. And the idea of the tub is that you only have the minimum amount of water in there. You seal the lid down and leave it in the sun and it will actually ferment. And it's at the time when it starts to ferment, as you can see there, that's its most attractive. It is now ideal. It's not very, very soft. It's soft enough that you can get a baiting needle through. It's absolutely beautiful, and that seems to really attract the carp into the swim. And it's quite easy to do, and it's a very, very cheap way of baiting up. So for about 10 quid, you're going to get something like 5 to 6 days worth of baiting out of a bag of this. I can see us ending up using maybe 2 or 3 bags on this particular trip. But you have to try and keep one step ahead of yourself by making sure that you're soaking up, ideally for at least 12 hours. If you can do it longer, great. And then you do the pressure cooking and then get it in the boxes to start the fermentation off. And that's ideal. It's just a nice way of doing it. Put a big bed of maize down, put a few of your boilies over the top of it, and invariably, although they're coming in after the maize, they will very often take the boilies first. So you give yourself a real good chance of catching fish, even over a heavily baited area. We fish some of these as pop-ups, and we also fish one rod on maize as well, because there are fish, I'm sure, that will take maize in preference to the boilies. So you're covering every aspect. This is our second morning at Salagoo, and we set the alarm clock for first light this morning and couldn't believe what we woke up to. The wind has completely changed round. As you can see now, it's blowing southeasterly as opposed to the warm southwesterly we had yesterday. We had beautiful clear skies yesterday with 25 degrees and a lovely sunny day. This morning it's been light for about 4 hours, although you wouldn't think so. It's still very misty and quite dark. Got baits out at first light and we've had 5 chances between us. Unfortunately, most of them have been claimed by the vines, which is quite horrendous out there. This is a fairly clear area of Salagoo. There are areas that are worse than this, and the vines are still claiming the fish. But out of all that, we managed, or Jim managed, to get a beautiful £20 plus common, which perhaps we'll have a look at in a little while. Fantastic looking fish, and at the end of the day, although we've lost a few, it was nice to see that one come in.
Beautiful looking fish, that is. £20 common.
I know. It's everywhere now.
It's just touching a water, that's all. Right.
Right.
What?
Right.
Right, away she goes.
Oh, this is going absolutely berserk, this fish. Went off with about 75 yards of line straight away, trying to desperately keep it out of the snags. Oh, so difficult to keep them out of the blooming snag. Keep the rod up all the time. It's pulling like hell. Oh, strong fish. It's kiting right round to the right hand side now. I've got to watch it over there because there's all sorts of sunken trees. There he is on the top. If we keep him there, that'd be great. Oh, what a strong fish. I've had him on for probably best part of 10 minutes, quarter of an hour. This is the first time I can honestly say I'm making any impression. It's just really done what it wants to. Oh, it keeps going away all the time. It's kiting round ever so tight. Oh, great. Come on, out them snags. Here he comes. Let's come round in front again. Oh. 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 Going away again. Can't hold him. God. Tearing off again. Keeps making for this all underground bushes and things around there. Just keep. Gee whiz. Oh, I can feel the line grating and all sorts of things. Oh, it's horrible. Rocks all in front of me as well. Every obstacle possible in this swim. Just keep him up. Come on, baby. Keep out them snags. Oh, there he is. Oh. Hey. Come on. There he is. Oh. Amazing strength. Seems so clearly in this filter. Twisting and turning around. There he is. Oh. Common. There he comes. Where I get the straight from? Come on, baby. Oh, no, he's got away again. Incredible strength. Come on. Come on, check. Oh, it's off again. Come on. Come on. Oh. Come on. For Thomas, he's the net. Come on. 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 Yes! God, what a fit fish. Oh, fantastic. Look at that. What a monster. Oh, boy, am I one happy angler. What a scrap. Oh, it's probably a mid or upper 20, but it fought everything. I fished twice his size. Oh dear, what a funny shaped hook. I'm quite sure they're meant to be like that. It is really bent out of shape. That was the bait. Actually more rig foam than bait on that. But it was obviously in there clearing the bait up. Just get me scales and zero that in. £27.5. Fantastic fish. Really magnificent. Just pop him on there. Let's move the rod out of the way. Oh, every inch muscle. The length of it. Oh. Yeah, look at that. It may well be wet, windy, and a bit miserable, but God, am I an happy angler. You're fabulous. Woohoo! Come on. Oh. Yes. Tony, go. Oh, Jim's just gone up the... Oh, his blood's got hot. Better take it for him. Oh. Another common. Oh. Gee whiz. Oh. Oh. Come on. Get their energy. Whee. Jesus. Amazing. These are such fit animals. Come on. Comes. Phew, a lovely colour, that one. Really garden. Oh, yeah. Come on. Up we go. Hey. Tell you what, it's another £20 common. I can't believe this.
Look at the colour of that. That's like a giganormous goldfish, isn't it? That's beautiful. Right, just get me bits and pieces. £22 exactly. Popped up maize ago. God, there's some beautiful commons in this place. That's what Salagoo's famous for. These creatures. They don't come a lot better looking than that. Isn't that lovely? The colour of that. Look at that. What a fabulous fish. This one? What a fabulous brace of fish. They come within literally 5 minutes of each other. Superb. Thank you very much. There we go. Oh, look at that go off. Speed machines. Racer.
That's a little closer. It's on the left-hand rod. Mm-hmm.
Come off on the top then, does it?
Right, but can't keep it on the top.
I'm going to.
Open them nasty vines. Actually, it's nice to watch them in the old gin clear water. Nearer for a change, yeah. Yeah, or leathery looking fish. Rope stuff. He's rolled over on the line, fully got caught round its dorsal fin. That's it, it's back on top. Oh, yeah, so a mirror. Makes a nice change. Nice one. Oh, look at that big hump on his back. Hey, well done, Jim. Brilliant.
God, look at that. Hard to see a mirror for a change, isn't it? Oh, that's a nice fish.
That's almost a leather.
Isn't it?
Gorgeous fish, yeah. Could you get down hooking, mate? Well done, mate. Another one bites the dust.
Take the weigh bag out because I've got 0 the scales in on it. There we go. Second. £20 exactly. Beautiful. We're going to do a bit of a pose with that. I'll get the cameras and take some shots. Keep it covered up.
Lovely. Lovely grub. Off he goes.
Mm-hmm.
Super.
That way for a go. And he's just doing a rebaiting program. You can see our markers out there. He's baiting up with maize and boilies. He's just throwing it over the side now, all the way around. There's actually 3 markers. There's one there, the other one in the middle, and one over towards the right. It's not very far out. It's roughly about 50, 60 yards. We've been doing this quite regularly. Every day, quite a good baiting up, and the fish have been responding. I think it is dragging the fish in from the southwest. They seem to be coming straight across the right-hand marker, and we seem to be getting most of the takes over at that side. Yesterday was a different situation. It was blowing the other direction, and we was getting most of the takes on the left-hand rods. I think perhaps we got the bait in just about right. Not too much and not too little. It's holding the fish in the swim. I just heard the echo sounder go a little while ago, and there's quite a few fish over that left-hand marker. And he's just run across the centre marker. I should imagine he will bait both sides. Again with maize and boilies.
That's not a bad morning's work. 3 20-pounders, 29, 27 and 22. They actually come in probably less than an hour's fishing. Quite amazing. These fish are something else. The power is just unbelievable. I just can't believe how these fish tore off. Staggering stuff. I'll attempt to get them out one at a time and get some. Super, there's one. I believe this is the 29 yet. Oh, look at the length.
Leave it up, birds.
Craig. And that's fought more like a salmon than a carp. Absolutely magnificent fish. They're like torpedoes, these. Really are. I hate to think what we've got out in front of us. We've only had one fish under 20 pounds, and that was an 18 common. Super. Have another little look at them. There's a lot of fish there. 70 pounder carp in that little lot. That is brilliant.
Ooh, it's got a wet one.
Look at that. Isn't that a sight? Oh, whoosh.
Away to go.
Isn't it a lovely sight watching them go through that crystal clear water? Look at that. Fabulous. Ooh, right. Oh. Look at that. Magic. Well, what can I say? Brilliant.
What a result.
This is our setup that we're using at Lake Salagoo. The baits we've been putting out there have been bucket loads of maize, literally, and shelf life boilies. So obviously it makes sense to use this as bait. With so much bait being out there, I want to ensure that our hook bait stands out over and above all the other baits that are laying around the bottom. So with the maize rig, we're actually popping this up so it sits about 2 inches above the bottom. And all we're doing is utilising 4 grains of maize and 2 large pieces of rig foam to help it stand up. The hook is a size 2, very heavy gauge, strong, extremely sharp. A 25-pound silkworm hook link, again very strong, abrasion resistant. We're not going to take any chances. There's a lot of snags out there and it's pointless losing fish for the sake of using inadequate tackle. When this goes in the water, you'll see what happens. It will sink very slowly and literally hover over our bed of bait. And as soon as the carp comes into the swim, I'm sure this is the one he's going to spot first and he'll take that in preference to the rest. Similar sort of situation with the ready-mades. We're not using pop-ups as such. We've decided just to use a piece of rig foam just to make them stand only just off the bottom. So again, they're standing up in preference to all the other freebies around. Exactly the same, 25-pound hook link, size 2 hook, extremely strong. Very simple, very effective setup. And one at the moment He's absolutely nailing the carp, one after the other. It's all right, Jim. I'll go out and bait up while you catch more rods.
Good. Well, I cast to it, didn't I?
Oh, look at the tail on it. Right in the clear water. Beautiful. And another common. Oh, fabulous. Beautiful. Look at that.
Superb stuff.
Didn't think too much of that round, didn't it?
No. It didn't make much to it at all, did it?
No.
Some more water, mate.
Beautiful. Here we go, in we go. Another powerhouse of a fish. Definitely don't think much of this net.
Well done, Jim.
No, the common. Nice one, isn't it?
Beautiful stuff. Oh, amazing.
The length of that fish.
Swim that little bit deeper water in here.
Yeah.
You should go away.
Good going. Softens.
It soaked me. There again. Let's try and get this one in the right place.
I think that's about right, Ian.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right on. We just like,
Tell you what, there's some fish out there this evening. I think we're going to get a bit of action while this is going. Very good. Seem to spend my life making up traces on the bank. You get through so many. Not that you're losing them all the time, but you get the hook turnover or you get the blooming hair broken. I think I made about 30 up before I come out. I think Jim made about the same. We've used all them, and every spare moment we seem to spend tying rotten rigs up. It takes you forever. Especially with all the graunch that we've got out here, the big rocks especially. They're very severe on the tackle. And you get one of the carp, just touch it momentarily and you get a little snag appear in the end of the trace or the hair, and that has to go. And they seem to have got very bony mouths, and the point of the hook gets bent over, only just a little bit, but enough that you know that it's not going to prick as well as it should do. And these chemically sharpened hooks certainly don't sharpen up again anywhere near as well as when you get them straight out the box. That's for sure. Still on the size 2 hooks, dental floss hair just whipped onto the shank. Take either 2 or 3 boilies or half a dozen grains of maize with a couple of pieces of rig foam on there, just keeping the whole thing very simple. Around about 9 to 10 inch hook links, size 7 diamond eye swivel, and I like these Arabs, they're strong. Use these quite a lot these days. When they first come on the market, I wasn't particularly happy about them because all the knot gets pushed into the point there. But these ones have got a nice radius, and they appear to protect the knot better and not strangling it. The silkworm type hook links, I use a 5-turn grinner on. That seems to be the most successful knot. Very reliable, quite simple to tie, loop back on itself, just 5 times through. Always important to moisten the knots down so that they don't burn as you tighten them up. So the barrel of the knot pulls together nicely, and then rather than trying to yank it down by holding a swivel,
And if you just get hold of it between the thumb and forefinger, slide it gently all the way back down to the swivel. Last little dob on there, and you've got a nice tight knot. A lot of people make the mistake of, when they've tied the barrel up, of sliding it down by just pulling the swivel and the hook, and that causes a lot of friction, a lot of heat, and actually burns and weakens the knot. But that's what we're using with great success. All this on my fingers is either the line cutting through them or the anal and dorsal fin of the carp, splitting them. It's certainly a fantastic place. I had no concept that there were so many 20s in here. To hear all the stories of the lads that have been here before, and generally speaking, most of them have said, you know, they've had dozens of fish, but doubles, you know, 10s to sort of 20-pounders, with just an odd sprinkling of 20-pounders. All we've had is 2 fish under 20. It's quite astounding. And really a very, very high average. Couple of 27s, a 29, 2 or 3 22s, I think, a 21. It's amazing. And of course the 40-pounder. Mind-blowing stuff. And we've only been here a few days. You know, I can only see it getting better. It really is quite a place. I don't think it'll be too long before I'm back again. Just once again, it's ever so simple. About 4 inches of line, double backs on itself. A loop, hold it between your thumb and forefinger, take the loose end through 5 times, and then that forms the barrel of the knot, and pulls that nice and easily on itself. My fingers, you can see, are in one heck of a state at the moment, into the little tiny filaments of the silkworm, or getting caught up in the cuts. Moisten the barrel down, thumb and forefinger, slide all the way back down to the eye. Moisten once more before it's finally tightening down. That's not going to go anywhere, that won't let you down. Then just trim the end off. Very simple. We've actually just rowed right away across the other side of Salagoo, and we were speculating on how far it is. I think it's got to be a good 2 miles across. It's taken us best part of an hour to get across and back again. We thought we saw some people we knew over the other side. It turned out to be some Germans. They just arrived and caught a fish straight away. So they were well pleased. I can't believe that weather, can you? Horrendously difficult to feel what I've got on here. Picked up from nowhere. This has just literally just sprung up in the last 5 minutes. It goes to show how careful you've got to be here. I was actually out in a boat in that a little while ago. Quite dangerous if you haven't got the right equipment.
Was it heading for the stags?
Yeah, it's plodding away down to the right hand side there. I'm probably going to have to move down to the next bit. Incredibly powerful. I want to keep pulling all the time. Just roll on the line. It's going to make him a bit more difficult. Well done, Jim.
Thank you for sealing up, people. I think the other one's going to go off soon. Beautiful. It is, isn't it?
Fabulous fish.
The speed that went up there.
I think they want to get back in the water, that one.
tricky area.
Good one?
But it seems quite good, yeah. So when we waited, there's some scope way about that.
Pretty near the surface, isn't it? So you should, yes, on top. Should be okay. Watch them read.
I know.
Horrible when the weight goes right up the line like that, isn't it?
God, you're not kidding. Not feel the fish so well.
They're common.
No, they're common. Got an Andy, well done.
It's a good job we bought those waders.
It really is.
Pop it back.
Upscaled trickery gun.
Well done.
Beneath here is yet another personal best. Can't believe this. The second of our little trip to Salagoo. This is a 33.5 pound common, which I took about 5 minutes ago. In absolutely abysmal conditions. As you can see, it's just bucketed down with rain. I can't believe how the weather's changed. 2 days ago, we were sitting out here in shorts and t-shirts. And look at it now, I've got my waterproofs on, my thermals. But by heck, am I happy to catch this. It's scrapped like no tomorrow. I just can't believe the fight I had on it. It took some pop-up maize that I fished about 9 inches off the bottom. And I went out in the boat about an hour and a half ago and dropped a very tight patch just over the side, and away it went. About 20 minutes it took me to get it in. It's a hell of a fish. Even the very clear water of Salagoo's turned red. Oh, what a fabulous fish. There you go. Mwah. Thank you very much. What a cracker. Here she goes. Brilliant. Absolutely fabulous. Right, look at this.
Have you ever seen me?
You look so
fine.
Yeah. I'm very wet. I'm a very happy carp angler. This is horrible. This is the bit we already look forward to, is the packing up. And it poured with rain last night and there's just mud everywhere. It's often the moment when you forget to make sure that you clear everything up behind you. We come here 5 days ago and we noticed immediately that there had been other people here. And the reason we knew that was the amount of rubbish they left behind.
I'm not saying those English anglers, but Sainsbury's bottles of wine and baked beans sort of give it away a bit, don't they? We've got to remember that we're ambassadors for our own country when we're abroad. Let's try and leave the place clean and tidy. We've accumulated a great big bag of rubbish, which we will go and find the proper home for it and not chuck it in the bushes. It is a problem, and especially around these type of waters. And not being holier than thou, but really we have got to try and make the effort and clean the place up. It can easily be forgotten, the excitement of going home and everything. Just chuck it under the bush, that'll do, someone else will clear it up. But they won't, it'll just stay there and it'll rot away, and encourage the rats, and it'll get us a bad name. And that's the last thing you want to do, because this is a fabulous place. I want to come back, and I would hate to think that I'd ruin it for anyone else. So, you know, not to end on a sour note or anything, but be a bit vigilant about it. Can't believe this. Last blooming morning, just in the middle of packing up, thought we'd leave the rods out there, just in case for this last hour or so. Oh, packing out the way, and away she goes again. Oh, but I'm in real trouble here. This is right through a load of snags. You can see the rods kicking as, oh, it's going away again, the fish. I've got real problems. Just, I can feel the line grating right the way through all these blooming snags. They've been a nightmare the whole time we've been here. And certainly one of the features at Salagoo. Oh, the grotty blooming snags. The line's grating all the time. Oh, I am gaining line on the fish, but very slowly. All I can do is just open the bail arm and hope it pulls itself free. You can see out there by my marker buoy, all that's just come up on the surface is where it's plowing through the endless amount of vine down here. It's not good news, I'm afraid. I haven't got a lot of hope for this one. Still there, still kicking. Oh, no, it's coming free. Yeah, it's a small common. Oh, I've got to roll on the line as well, and the line's called Larry Dawson, that hasn't stopped. Come on, pick that off. Stop. Another rod over the face. Amazing one now. Out of these fish. All false. 15-pound line on that. He's still trying to pull away. This has got to be the smallest fish of the trip. Give me a lot of aggravation. Really going. Unbelievable game. Real little powerhound, all muscle. Come on. Behave yourself. Gotcha. You little devil. Yeah. That's the smallest one of the trip. Yeah, look at that. Where did all that energy come from in that little tiny fish? I won't even bother weighing that. That's probably just a double. That is the littlest one of the trip. But only a pretty one. There. That won't even weigh that. Straight back. You little powerhouse of the fish, you. That looked beautiful in that clear water. There he goes. Okay folks, that's it. End of a smashing week's fishing. We've seen the ever-changing moods at Salagoo, that's for sure. We've had soaring temperatures, we've had gale force winds, torrential rain. But having said that, it's been extremely enjoyable. We actually started off this session on the River Lot, near Astan.
Unfortunately, the snow waters in the river caused us to move down here. We had 2 days there, and although we had 2 chances, unfortunately my luck ran out. I lost 2 very good fish, one certainly a common in excess of £35, which was devastating to say the least. So we decided that to cut our losses and we'd come further down south. We did think of having a look at the River Tarn, but also that looked as if it was carrying a lot of snow water. So we actually ended up here at Salagoo. We've now fished 4 or 5 days, and quite honestly I've had some of the best, certainly the best fights I've ever had out of any fish in my life. They are fabulous fish in here, they really are, and it's lived up to every expectation that I wanted of it. All in all, unfortunately, Jim has had loads of takes. He's been a bit unlucky that on the left-hand side of the swim there is some horrendous snags, and he's done well to extract 7 fish out of there, 2 of which have been lovely 20s, magnificent common and a cracking almost leather. So, you know, it could have been better for him, but it's still a good result. And I can't believe it's the gods have certainly shone on me this week. Somehow or other I've managed to extract 16 fish over £20, a personal best common of £33.8 and a personal best mirror of £42. So this is going to hold a lot of fond memories for a long time. Any of you people that are thinking of travelling to France to fish, there are a multitude of places you can go. I do believe in hindsight that we've probably come a little bit too early. It has been cold, there's been a lot of snow water around. I really think that April's probably the month to start thinking about coming out here. The weather then would have cheered up a little bit, and the snow waters would be off the mountains. With the climbing temperatures in the rivers and the lakes, certainly the carp would be a lot more predictable and a lot more responsive. It's really what you want to do when you get here. You can come like we have on really a fairly extensive searching out programme. We've had the luxury of hotels, and we've had the discomfort of sitting in rainy bivvies on the bank here. And you can do everything in between. There's some marvellous campsites in France. They've got super waters on them. Certainly the Eurocamp company runs some fabulous sites, about 70 in all I believe, throughout France. I've stayed at 2 or 3 of them, and there's some very good fishing. The Laurel Valley, one of my favourite parts of France, is nice, but later in the year. I wouldn't certainly consider that this time of the year. And the fishing there is good. I've had fish to just under £40 in that area. You can have a look at around the Dordogne area. Again, good campsites, whether you want to camp out in a tent, you've got a tourer, caravan, your own camper, or stay in the hotels. They're reasonably cheap. The water there is fabulous. Again, produce fish to in excess of £40. The River Lot has now become a very, very famous river, producing some enormous fish, especially commons. It's renowned for it. Unfortunately, as I say, we hit it too early. I'm sure later on in the year there will be some really good catches there, and that lovely little town of Estaing will stay in my memory for a long time. So you've got everything. Further down, the further south you come, obviously the weather does get that much better. The River Tarn around the Elbe area, that's pretty good. Anywhere where there's barrages that are blocking the river and you've got these hydroelectric systems, you're going to find carp, and usually in large numbers. So they're all worth having a go at. And if you want to come this far down, for we're only a few miles from the Spanish border, this in the summer gets very busy and extremely hot, so plenty of suntan lotion when you come here. This time of the year, we're one of only 3 band of anglers that I can see that's been fishing. It has been cold, it has been miserable at times, but we've caught a lot of fish. Across the other side of France is the famous Cassin, and what can you say about that? Produce fish to in excess of £70. It is difficult these days. It's had its heyday 5 years ago, I believe. You can still catch fish there. There is good campsites all around it, as there are here, so there's plenty of places to stay. The one untapped water that I think is probably going to show up on the map in a not too distant future is a lake called Vougelons. It's an absolutely massive landlocked piece of water. It's got a barrage at one end, and I don't know how long it is, but I've driven along it 2 or 3 times, and it's enormous. One of these days that's going to produce enormous carp. And even this place here, considering, as we believe, it's probably only been flooded for the last 18 years, it's producing fish to £40 and probably over that. I don't know what the largest has been caught here. For the future, this looks very, very good. I can see there being some real monsters coming out of this place. Some of the carp we caught were in excess of 40 inches long, and that is massive. If they start filling out and putting a bit of a stomach on them, they're going to be real mega fish. Right, so we're going to leave Salagoo on this dreary old day and try and make our way back up that horrendous track to the top of the mountain, which I'm not looking forward to with a fully laden car. Came down very easily, but I'm not sure it's going to go up in quite the same manner. So on behalf of the team, Jim, my angling companion for the week, who's been marvellous company, Faye, the sound engineer, and James, the man that does the magic behind the camera, and myself, it's tight lines and good luck carping. Cheerio, folks.
Now, this is what carp fishing's all about. Look at that.
Aren't you beautiful?